Okay, this is a follow-up video to my PSP video that I've said which model I should get. I've decided and I went with the PSP 2001. I live in the US, so the models ours end with the 1 at the end digit. In Japan, it's 0. PAL regions, it's either 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and even 9. I would go through them, but that's not what this video is about. So here it is, the PSP 2000 that I got recently in the mail. I got this on eBay for a good deal. They wanted like $65, but I convinced them to go down to $60. It came with the charger. It did not come with the battery, but that's not a big deal because this uses the same battery as the 3000 model. So luckily I had a spare one. I had like 3 or 4 of them. So it's not a big deal. Now, this is known as the Star Wars edition in the US. In Canada and other parts of the world, this is just normal PSP 2000. I wish in the US they had the normal white PSP. If I gotten the Star Wars edition back in the day, or even used with the... I'll explain what I would have done. But aside from that, I paid $60 even, and I had to get a replacement battery cover for this PSP. It did not come with the battery cover either, but it did power on. It did say it was working. I tested it. I tested the mini USB, the memory stick dual, practically all the buttons, the UMD slot, the battery, and I even, though I did not try to connect this to my Wi-Fi, it did try to detect it. That goes to show it's a fully working PSP. Also, let me show you something on the back. On the Star Wars edition, this would have a picture of Darth Vader on it. Had I gotten that, I'm probably going to get some hate comments in here, but I would have chucked the Darth Vader because I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I only got this PSP because, well, I wanted a white PSP. It looks nicer than black. I don't like black systems because, look, it leaves like, let me show you an example. I mean, look at the screen. I don't know if you can see that, but that's a smudge mark. That's a better example. Well, look, smudge marks. Not a fan of smudge marks. But anyway, aside from that, that's why I got a white PSP, just so the glossiness is not noticeable. If I had to choose between the retro or yellowing plastic and smudge mark city, I'd choose yellowing plastic because de-yellowing is easy, in my opinion. And it's, well, you get the idea. So anyway, that's basically me showing the PSP 2000. This is a 2001 model. It works perfectly. I've tested it with everything. It works like a champ. So also the differences. So let me show you what the 2000 looks like. Here's the back side. Here's it compared to PSP 3000. Pretend these buttons are black. I did have the black buttons originally, but a few of these buttons started feeling, well, a little worn out, so I actually had to take one from a spare unit. So that's why they're in here. And I have a D-pad, silver one, just to match it. It would look kind of strange with the different colors, where this is black and while this is silver. Aside from that, practically the same. Also on the 3000, I'm not sure if you noticed, but this is concave. Well, there's a little indent to make it feel more, well, nicer in the hands, but on the 2000, well, to be honest, this is not a big deal. There's no indent on here, but the 2000 model feels better than much better than the 1000. The 1000, the buttons feel kind of, I don't know, stiff in my opinion. I have used a 1000 model, and I actually prefer the 2000 and 3000 over that, and there's no way I'm getting the PSP Go. More like the PSP, no. Reason why I say no is because I actually have UMD games, and I prefer using UMDs. Aside from that, the sizes are practically the same, as you can see, but some detail differences. If you look at the home button, the select and start, on the 3000 they're oval shaped, while in the 2000 they're crescent moon shaped. Also, the Sony logo is in different positions on these. On the 2000 and even the 1000, it's on the right here. On the 3000, it's to the left. On the PlayStation logo, it's where the home button is on the 3000. PlayStation 2000 has a home button. 1000 also has that. Also, what I like about the 2000 and 3000, the speakers are in a better position. If anyone remembers the 1000 model, the speakers were down here, and if you had it standing or had your hand holding it like in an awkward position, you could muffle the sound. But aside from that, sorry if I've been blabbering much about the PSP 2000, but at least this video sort of gives you an idea to answer the question. Oh, and by the way, I actually fixed this PSP, and this one's going to go to a friend. I'll have to have him test it with several stuff, and in the end, well, he'll probably be happy with it. Also, I need to point out on the AC adapters, if you have a 1000, 2000, 3000 models, this is a PSP 2000 and 1000 charger. They're practically the same. At least that's what I believe. This is a PSP 100 charger made in the Philippines, and over here it says Sony 5-volt 2000 AC adapter. I don't know if you can see that, but this is for the 1000 and 2000 model. This end goes into your system, and this end goes into your wall outlet. I live in the U.S. This is the plug that goes to in the U.S., of course. If you live outside of the U.S., like if you live in Europe or Australia or countries like that, your plug will be different. Now, the 3000 model, if I could go ahead and grab it. Here we go. Got it with my foot. The 3000 has a 5-volt 1500 milliamp AC adapter. You don't want to mix this with the 2000 or 1000. You could fry something. I don't know if that's the case, but that's just my theory. Practically same plug and same, well, stuff like that. But this is the 3000 charger, and this is the 1000 and 2000 charger. So that's something I'd like to point out. If you're going to buy a PSP, you want to get the appropriate adapter. You don't want to get the wrong kind. So aside from that, that's my update video. In conclusion, I got a 2000 ceramic white. I wanted white because I don't like black, because black leaves smudges. If I went for the 3000, of course it would have been the Assassin's Creed version or a silver one, but I think white's the best looking color PSP in my opinion. So thanks for watching.